for tuning in. Today we're going to do a tutorial on tape-in extensions. Tape-in extensions are good for girls who are looking for a little more volume, length, or fullness, and they're also great for stylists who are looking for add-on services for their clients that are time conscious and very lucrative. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this tutorial. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please leave it below, and I'll see you again next week. So basically you want to start about 1 inch from the bottom hairline, and you probably want to go ahead and take the paper off the tape of the extensions just so that you can move along a little faster. And right here I am just taking a small sliver of that section, and I'm going to create a piece of hair about the width of the tape-in extension, and I'm going to go ahead and stick that tab right on to her baseline, right at the scalp, and I'm going to use the back of the rat tail comb to smooth her hair onto the adhesive on that extension. And then I'm going to take another piece and I'm going to stick it right on top of there. Then you want to squeeze it tight, squeeze, 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 just to make sure that the extension has grasped onto the hair very well. And as you can see, I'm moving right along into my next subsection. I'm going to take a piece of hair, I'm going to take a tape-on extension, I'm going to apply it to the hair at the scalp, as close as you can get it. And then I'm going to use the back side of my rat tail comb, once I get it in there. I'm going to use the back side of my rat tail comb just to smooth that hair over that adhesive. Then I'm going to grab another piece where the paper on the extension has already been removed, and I'm going to stick it right on top and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And I'm going to continue that for another extension on that bottom section. You don't want to try and squish too many of these pieces onto one area because it just becomes too much. So I usually do at least 3 on the bottom, and then when I pull my next row down, I'll go ahead and bricklay in between those extensions I've already added, and you'll see that coming up soon. So as you can see, our first row is complete. Now I'm going to pull down my next subsection, and I'm going to do the same thing. As you can see, when I lift her hair up, you can't see any of those extension tabs at her hairline. So she could pull her hair up, she could do a bun, she could pretty much style it anyway without her extensions being shown. So here we are pulling down our next section, and we're going to follow those same steps for that row. We'll go ahead and pin that up with our clip, and I'm going to take a small subsection of that section and begin laying the extensions the same way I did for that first row. So now that we have the back foundation complete, we're going to go ahead and move to the side. What I like to do is I like to start on one side, lay a piece or two, go to the other side just so that the hair is symmetrical and there's not gaps from side to side. So I'm going to go ahead and do a small extension piece right here. You want to avoid the hairline. Try and make it come a little bit above the hairline. So as you can see, I did a diagonal parting. It's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from her face, so that way if she wants to tuck it behind her ears or pin her hair up, you don't see those extensions peeking out from the side. So I did the same thing. I went ahead and applied one piece, and now I'm putting the piece on top. Now this particular person, she does it more for fullness. Her hair has grown out a lot, so we just put these in for fullness, but they can be added for fullness, for length. They can be colored, cut. You can use them over and over and over again. You just have to continue to get that adhesive. I went ahead and did the same thing on the other side. Sorry you were unable to view that side, but as you can see from the back of her hair, you can't even tell she has extensions in. It looks so natural, it's so believable, it's very versatile, and it works best for textures much like Shelby's. Maybe a little bit of curlier hair, but the coarser hair textures, ethnic hair textures, they're a little harder to stay in from my experience. So I added just a few more of her blonde pieces in just for a little more fullness right there in the top area. And her look is completed. Here is a view of her hair from the front. Like I said, you can't even tell she has an extensions. The color matches perfectly. They blend in perfectly. And that is the end of this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. See you guys again next week. Stay tuned for next week's episode, how to get curl and body with just a blow dryer.